Boston. America's largest tunnel project, the Big Dig expansion. Its goal was to solve the traffic and transportation nightmare. Thousands of engineers, machines, and workers were working day and night underground. Everything was state-of-the-art. And then, one day, 10 workers went down for the morning shift. By evening, they hadn't returned. A search team was sent. Down below, only their tools and helmets were found, covered in mud and water. Inside one helmet, it read, "Down below, the city is still alive." The faces of the director and city mayor went pale. Because Boston had an old urban legend. Underground, there is another city that can never die. People used to laugh it off. But now, the evidence was right in front of them. And the laughter never returned. A rescue team was immediately sent. Cameras, oxygen tanks, state-of-the-art sensors, everything was ready. Their mission was clear: find the missing workers. As the team started descending, their audio transmissions began to distort. Static. Echoes. And some sounds no one had expected. One rescue worker said over the radio, "There's a sound like footsteps in the background." Silence. Then another voice cracked. "But there are 4 of us here, and no one has moved yet." Up in the monitoring room, panic started to rise. Screens began blinking. CCTV feeds would go black, then return again. And in one frame, a small shadow passed by. Like a figure. In another tunnel. Then suddenly, strange writing flashed across the feed. Roman letters, distorted font, as if the system had been hacked. "Someone is coming down." The team leader immediately shouted over the radio, "Who's there? Show yourself." But the only answer was an echo. And within that echo, another sound was mixed in. Not entirely human, not entirely mechanical. "Go back, you do not belong here." The workers froze. One adjusted his helmet cam. The screen zoomed in on the tunnel wall. And there it was, stained with old blood. "Our world was made before your world." In the monitoring room, everyone's breaths caught. The director could only watch in silence. Then one worker, terrified, tried to run. But a scream came from behind him. The camera captured only this. A long, thin hand. Human-like, but not human. It dragged the worker into the tunnel wall. And then, silence. The monitoring room screens filled with static. The mayor screamed, "Shut off the feeds. Don't tell the media." But the director kept repeating just one line. "This is the same city, erased from the records. It has returned." And then, from the end of the tunnel, a very loud, old bell began to ring. There was no bell there, and no sound like this had ever been heard at that place. With the echo of the bell, the tunnel lights began blinking one by one. Then everything went dark. Darkness. Only the echo of the bell. And the rescue team's heavy breathing recorded on the microphones. One worker panicked. "I can't see anything. Turn on the flashlight." The flashlight beam illuminated a corner of the tunnel. And there an old stairwell appeared. Rusty, made of stone. Not on any official construction maps. The team leader shouted over the radio, "Base camp. We found a hidden passage, confirmed with the maps." But only static came from above. And a strange growl. As if something was trying to speak, but not in a human language. Another worker whispered, "Sir, I think something is watching us from below." Everyone turned their flashlights toward the stairwell. And for a second a face appeared. Pale blue skin. Eyes completely white. Then gone. "Must be a hallucination," someone muttered. But the next moment, new words appeared on the tunnel wall behind them. Words that weren't there just seconds ago. "You are late. We've been waiting for you." One worker panicked and started descending the stairwell. The others shouted, "Stop! Wait!" His footsteps echoed below. Then a scream. And silence. The flashlight beam highlighted another helmet below. The same missing worker's helmet. And inside it was written, "Once you come down, you cannot go back." In the monitoring room above, technicians were panicking. "Sir, we can't track their signal. The feeds aren't coming from any external source, they're jamming from our own servers. It's like something is speaking from inside our system." The mayor glared at the director angrily. "You said this was just a myth, so what is all this?" The director's lips trembled. He said quietly, "Their city, their culture, their technology was all locked underground, so that we would forget them." Then pausing, his voice dropped even lower. "But they never died." Down in the tunnel, only 3 members remained. They saw a faint green glow beneath the stairwell, as if another city deep underground was alive with its own light. Their hearts pounded. One whispered, "Guys, if we record this, this could be the biggest discovery in the world." Another responded nervously, "Or it could be the last discovery the world ever makes." As they stepped down and reached the ground, a massive stone gate stood before them. Old, cracked, yet still standing. And written on it, "Are you ready to enter?" They exchanged shocked glances. Then, without touching it, the gate slowly began to open on its own. The creaking of old iron echoed throughout the tunnel, as if something had been waiting for them. From behind the gate came a strange breathing sound. Heavy. Rhythmic. As if the entire earth was alive from within. The 3 adjusted their cameras, swung their flashlights into the gate, and the first glimpse they got was nothing anyone could have expected. Before them lay an entire city. Massive stone walls. Structures resembling ancient buildings. A faint green light shimmered everywhere, as if algae or some alien energy source. One worker whispered, "Guys, this doesn't look natural, it's designed." Another, panicked, said, "You mean, someone made it, and it wasn't human?" And then, as the 3 stepped inside the gate, behind them, it closed on its own. A loud thud. Their lights flickered. And in the monitoring room, all their signals were cut. The echo of the gate closing still reverberated off the walls. The 3 members stood frozen. Their flashlights revealed a sprawling underground city. Buildings, like ancient temples. Massive stone columns, carved thousands of years ago. Everywhere, that same eerie green glow. From the walls, the ground, even the airborne particles. One member whispered, "This place, it's alive." Another, adjusting his camera, "No, this place is watching us." Then, a low humming came from the walls, as if thousands of people were softly chanting in unison. Through the headphones, it became clear. One word, repeated over and over. "Welcome back. Welcome back." The 3 exchanged glances. Their breathing grew rapid. One panicked and dropped his camera to the ground. The feed flickered. When the screen cleared, one of them was gone. Only his flashlight rolled on the dirt. And beneath it, newly written words glowed. "One by one, you will all become ours." The remaining 2 froze in terror. They realized the city wasn't a discovery, it was a trap. Then, from a distance, the same bell began to ring. But this time, the echo didn't reach their ears. It rang directly inside their minds, as if some invisible force was pulling them in. The 3 members looked at each other, breaths quickening. From every direction, faint movements were visible. Shadows, dozens of them, slowly circling around them. Each shadow's face bore white eyes and the same eerie smile. One screamed in panic. "He's not him anymore, he's one of them." The shadows began to enter one by one. One member's face changed. Eyes white, grin identical to theirs. And then, all the shadows synchronized. Their footsteps echoed in the same rhythm, as if the entire underground city was marching. With those footsteps, an ancient anthem or melody could be heard. Not in human language, yet its meaning entered their minds directly. The time above is over, now the world below rises again. Then, in the central hall, a massive throne was revealed. On it sat a skeleton-like figure, its eyes still glowing as if alive. The figure lifted its head. A voice echoed, "You above think yourselves real, but you are only our forgotten copies." Scientists in the monitoring room screamed in shock. "Sir, they are transmitting DNA data, and this is impossible. Their DNA matches ours 99%. The mayor went pale. "So, we are all descendants of the people below?" The director slowly lowered his head. "We were never truly people above. We were all running from them." The shadows and the skeleton figure focused on them, and new words began to glow on the walls. "Choose, join us, or remain here in pain forever." One member screamed, "I'm human. I can't become like you." But the shadows entered him simultaneously. His face changed, eyes white, grin identical. And a voice emerged from his own mouth. "We are all of the same city, and now we have returned." The entire hall was filled with shadows and the eerie green glow. The last remaining member clutched a corner. Sweat on his face, rapid breathing, heart filled with only one prayer. "Please God, save me from here." Yet a faint voice whispered in his ear, "We hear your prayer, but it is for us." He lifted his flashlight and saw a massive hall. In the center, on an ancient throne, sat the skeleton-like figure, eyes still glowing. The figure lifted its head and its voice resonated through the hall. "You above think yourselves real, but you are only our forgotten copies." The shadows below moved as one, every grin and white eye, like stars in the darkness. But these stars were not human. In the monitoring room, those above froze in horror. "Sir, their DNA matches ours 99%. The mayor panicked. "So, we are all descendants of the people below?" The director slowly lowered his head. "We were never truly people above. We were all running from them." Below, the last member wandered the hall. New words glowed on the walls. "Choose, join us, or remain here forever." Then, between the shadows and the lights, the ground began to crack. The earth shook. Dozens of shadows emerged. Every shadow's face bore white eyes and the same grin. Their footsteps marched in rhythm, as if the entire underground city was moving together. An anthem echoed, not in human language, yet its meaning entered their minds directly. The time above is over, now the world below rises again. The last member clutched a corner. Sweat on his face, rapid breathing, heart filled with only one prayer. "Please, save me." But an invisible force pulled him. The bell rang, directly inside his mind. The gate had closed, and the strange echo of the bell now rang inside his mind and heart. And then, through the light and shadows of the underground city, a final line blinked. The city below is still alive. Bells rang from Boston's subways, basements, and every underground place, as if the city below was rising from its place. And the city above was only a cover, soon to collapse. The city we thought was our home was only a prison. The real city was alive below, and now it is rising above.